Is that okay? Right here?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay. Gacy, how do you even start? I mean, he's this process-focused killer who just lures his victims in and, you know, goes in on them. He's this lust killer, you know. He doesn't really care about whether they die or not, but you know, he wants them for other reasons. Sex. It's weird because his childhood wasn't really traumatic. I mean, despite his injury with the swing set and the impact it had on his mind, it was solved pretty easily by medication. I mean, his relationship with his father, now that's another topic, you know. It wasn't the best, but he was still a guy that loved his father. It didn't have a huge impact on the way he killed, like how you would think most serial killers do. However, he was kind of unpopular in school, and you know, this could be because of his high IQ or him knowing the patterns of other people. But you know, his father was abusive and verbally, physically, but it didn't really seem to impact Gacy as much as you would think. John Wayne Gacy is mostly organized for the most part. You know, he left the crime scenes like immaculate, didn't leave evidence behind, buried his victims under a staircase, you know, things like that. How you say, he kept trophies, he kept trophies, driver's licenses, rings, things like that to remember the thrill that his victims gave him. You know, I wouldn't say he really had a signature, but you know, he did gain the trust of his victims as a clown. Does this thing work?
Yeah, it should.
Okay. Now, you know, when I went to Harvard for psychology, you know, you learn about serial killers and John Wayne Gacy. You know, you learn about the trauma that he endured with his father at school and how that could have developed into his need to kill people, and you know, the fantasies that arise from being isolated without a father to really have to comfort you. You start getting those fantasies, and you know, like genetics can be passed down from people, and obviously John had an affinity towards young boys, something that in the South we don't really believe in. You know. But you know, like Bailey and Hilliard, some study, they said, you know, if you're gay, it can be genetic, really. And you know, he's not a twin, but it still applies. And you know, you see that people are now more afraid of clowns as they might not have been before the case, because obviously John Wayne Gacy, you know, dressed up as a clown. I don't know if that's another one of his gay boy little fantasies, but you know, he dressed up as a clown to lure trust, maybe just because it's one of the fantasies he likes. But people who've heard about this case have these schemas associated with clowns now, and when they see a clown, their immediate response might be fear, or like, I don't really want to say here, but maybe they found it a little bit arousing. But yeah.
Hello, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
So, are you familiar with John Wayne Gacy?
I am.
So, he mainly targeted young teen boys. How does that make you feel?
Well, maybe it's surprised to know that John Wayne Gacy targeted me.
Sorry, I understand this is a really challenging subject for you.
Well, he came to my window one day. He was my neighbor, and he knocked on it, and he said, "Hey, little," that's how he talked. "Hey, little boy." And I come in, and I said, "Sure, Mr. Gacy, what do you need?" And he said, "I need to touch you." By then he was already in. I ran so fast.
Thank you for coming today. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Hey, I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Have you ever heard of a man named John Wayne Gacy, and have you ever come in contact with him?
I've heard the name a couple times, and yeah, oddly enough, yeah, I saw him once at my little brother's birthday party, right? And he was dressed up, doing his job, and I didn't think too much about that. And it was just a clown at a lovely birthday party. I had no fear of clowns, nothing like. It was just a regular night, and then one day I went for a walk on the trail near my house, and it was I was just walking. The sun was going down. It was right before sunset, and I remember a man. There was a man behind me. He looked familiar, but I wasn't too sure, and I started walking a little bit faster because it felt like he was following me, and it got a little.
Hey, you don't gotta talk about it.
It just got.
Hey, he's crying. He's a lost killer now. You're okay, honey. You're okay. I can't believe you couldn't.
I thought he was gonna rape me.
I know. I know.